In this tutorial, we will be making the apple tree thank you card on the right. So the first thing I like to do in my assembly line when I'm putting together my cards is I typically like to stamp first. That way, you know, I assure that everything is dry and it won't smear. So even though our ink does dry fast, I just kind of prefer to do that and get the stamping out of the way. So we're going to work on the first 3 cards, and like I said, I'm only going to stamp 1 for this video, but if you were doing this at home, you would want to have all 3 of your small card bases ready. And so this is the top layering piece. Let me show you again what that would look like. So you have your early espresso would be underneath it like that, and then you would put it on your card base. So the smaller piece is what we're going to work with. And so I've got my early espresso ink pad, and I'm going to open that up. Now the other thing too, these are photopolymer stamps, so that means that you have to have clear blocks to mount them on, and I will give you all that information about the sizes in the YouTube description down below, or if you're on my blog, it'll be there as well, along with all the other supplies that we're using. So I have my large tree canopy on a large block, and then I also have the tree stump on one side and the, I don't know, the little heels or the little ground firmament on the other, same block. And then I have the thank you mounted, and I have the little bird. So those are all ready to go. So I've opened up my early espresso ink, and I am going to work first on the tree trunk. So I'm going to ink that up really good here. Now, if I've never used photopolymer, this set of photopolymers before, what I would want to do, somehow or another, the first time you stamp, it may not come out the way you want it. So I always stamp first on a piece of scrap to kind of see how it looks. But I've used these several times, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp. And I want it in kind of the lower bottom left-hand corner, but I don't want it too close to the bottom or too close to the left edge. So just kind of right about here. I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to press, give it a good press, and lift up. Now, this is pretty light, and I like it, but because the tree canopy is so vibrant, it didn't look right. It looked off balance. So I'm actually going to stamp this again, and the beauty of photopolymer is that you can see through it and get good placement. Now, I'm not picky. I'm kind of OCD about a lot of things, but this is not one of them. Crafting is what it is. I think there's no mistakes. So I'm not going to worry about it if I don't get this lined up just exactly right, and my head might get in the picture here. I'm sorry. But I'm just going to eyeball that, press it, and voila. Now I have a darker tree, and I like that a lot better. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead, I'm going to flip this over because on the other side I have my little hills or whatever you'd call it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up in the same ink, and I'm going to put that kind of over here coming out behind this tree. And then I'm also going to stamp again below the tree. And you can put these really wherever you want them and stamp again. And you notice that I am not re-inking. I'm just stamping them. Okay, so I like that. Okay, I'm going to just kind of... and you might want to have your Stampin' Scrub handy to clean these. I'm going to set this aside, but I'm just going to stamp it off so it doesn't get my surface messy, and I can clean it later. Okay, so now we've got that done. Now we're going to grab, so we're still going to use early espresso for this. I'm going to grab the sentiment, the thank you, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that kind of towards the right-hand side over here. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. I kind of like it right about there. We'll try that. Now, typically when it comes to stamping words, I like to do them first. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so usually I like to do them first because I am notorious for not getting it straight, and for some reason I've never learned to do a Stamp-A-Majig well, and that's a tool that's supposedly supposed to help you line things up and get it straight, but I don't know, I still don't get it straight. So I just tend to eyeball it and just go for it. If it's a little off, I don't really care. But in this case, this particular stamp set, the fonts on it are really great because if you are a little crooked, it doesn't matter. You can't tell. It's just the type of font that they use and things. So I like that because, like I said, normally I would have stamped this first so that if I messed up, I have the other side to work on. But the reason I did the tree trunk first is because I wanted to stamp that first for placement. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to clean that off. Now we're going to stamp our bird. So I need to get the Real Red ink pad. Okay. Alright, my little bird here. He's so cute. He, she, whatever it is. Okay. Okay, and I want to put him, I'm going to put him right between, like, kind of right over the N, I guess, and thank you. Okay, cute. Okay, so that's all we're doing with the Real Red. So we're going to put that back up. All right. Stamp my little bird off here. Okay, set him aside. Okay, so that's all done. So you're going to do that with all 3 of your card fronts, the white card fronts, the smallest fronts. So we're going to set that aside, let it dry, and now we're going to work on the tree canopies. So in the next video, I will go over how to use the Big Shot to cut out the tree canopies. Thank you for watching.